Rupture, and Hoda, etc. And I basically touched base on this at the start. So you are a Whirlwind Barb. Your main damage is coming from when you're spinning. When you're spinning, you're proccing Druid's Might. When you're spinning, you're proccing your Dust Devil aspect. When you're spinning, you're generating Fury, proccing Devilish. But whatever skill you want to use that prevents you from spinning, because I mean, we're spinning to be winning. But if we stop spinning, it's no bueno. So all these skills like Hoda or Rupture, you know, like we just can't use them because whenever we want to, like, I don't know, whenever we want to use a skill like, let's say Rupture, it's gonna like necessarily interrupt us, right? So I'm spinning here, having a bunch of fun, very easy, just holding down one button or spamming it, and then I need to Rupture, and it's gonna stop me from spinning. So it's just really annoying, and I really don't recommend it. Maybe in some crazy push setup we can maybe do Seal Grasp or something, but for majority of players, guys, like just stick with the stuff that you can do and you can cast while you spin to keep winning. So don't interrupt your Whirlwind, guys. Don't play Rupture. Don't play Hoda. I mean, maybe at the very end game, we'll see. There might be some setups. I'm not saying it's completely bad, but for speedruns, man, spin and win is the play. Yes. Next one here is the defense. So I get this question all the time. How to reach resistance cap with your gear up. So I only have one rest roll, and it's on the pants. Or you can also have it on your boots, wherever, but you can't have it on any of the Uber slots. So I recommend having it on the pants, because this is a non-generator build. So you don't have Whirlwind ranks, and you don't have like Flay ranks or something on the pants. So we just take either all res, but I prefer a single rest roll. You can do lightning, you can do shadow, whatever you want. I have lightning res. So what this allows me to do is just play one rest that I don't have to worry about. So lightning rest is already maxed with this roll and all the other stuff. And then you want to be using a soothing spice to max your resistances. So what I'm using here, so this is my resistances unbuffed. So I get lightning res from the pants. We get shadow res or any other res here from the amulet. We get cold res here from the ring. We get a bunch of all res here. So this is 10, 10 is 28 all res from the starter sky. So very high base already. And then we get more resistances from what we are using to buff us. So we have the elixir of anti-venom. So see, if I drink this, my poison res goes up. So 20 poison res. So you don't have to worry about poison res. And that's why I don't like to have all res, because you don't need it. You get so much poison res from this one. And you guys can see here, this is my res now with just the anti-venom elixir. And then on top of this, you can drink a soothing spice. You just smoke these. They're pretty cheap to craft. And boom, now all the resistances are at 84. And if you shall still struggle, you can even use the Storm of the Wilds, or there's also another one that buffs the other res, for an extra 15. But yeah, this is a complete overkill. So you only need Soothing Spice and you need Anti-Venom, and that's pretty much it. You're gonna max your res easy. And if you shall not max your res yet, you still can, I don't know, take 2 points off some damage and put it here to get like, I don't know, 3 more all res and stuff. And you can also, if you meet more fire res, you put more points here. But this is basically where your fire res is coming from. And fire res is really important. So if you struggle with fire res, you just put in like 2 more points here to get another 10 fire res. But again, with the Soothing Spice, all your res should look like this. Because 2 is giving you all res and max res. And the Starter Sky is giving you an insane amount of all res with 1 diamond. And that's exactly how I have it in the planner right now. So 1 diamond, and then again, like if you have Shadow Res on your pants, it's fine. But like I would say Lightning Res is the best, because you definitely want to max that. And then Shadow, Cold, and then Fire from the Paragon, and Poison from the Anti-Venom Elixirs. That's it basically. That's how you max the res. Same goes for the armor. I only have 1 roll. And you can have this on the pants, I think, ideally, instead of life. I don't have it right now. And you want to have strength here, of course. So I'm switching the boots here all the time. But you want 1 armor roll to cap your armor. You guys can see here, without these boots, my armor would be pretty shit. So you want 1 armor roll here. And then the rest is coming from either your buffs or your paragon. Like if you're struggling with armor, with 1 armor roll, you don't have enough, you can, instead of going up here, you know, you just take this route here. So you give up a bit of additive damage and you just take this route. And it's gonna, so you can like get these 4 off. You would need 1 more paragon point. So I can just quickly show this to you. What we would do is just do this. We go up here. Boom. Give up this. And then, yeah, we need 1 more paragon point to maybe take it out here. Boom. And now we have, you know, like 500 armor over cap, so this is another 300 armor that we get. So very easy to just adjust the starter paragon board to whatever it is that you need. And that's going to help you a lot to just reach the goals that you want to. But yeah, for me, there's no reason to have more than 9,230 armor, so I already have overkill and I'm already good, so I can take a bit more additive damage here in the starter board. But it's whatever you want to do. If you want more armor, you just go this path, and it's very comfortable. And then one roll should be more than enough to get you to the armor cap. And if not, you can also use the Song of the Mountain to pre-buff you. Okay, how to get that much life? Like, I don't even have crazy amounts of life right now. I only have like 80k, but you have like a bunch of damage reduction from Challenging Shout and from Iron Skin. So you're gonna be flying in this. And also, if I press my buttons here, I have 93k life. And if you want, you can get more life. I have a separate video on how to gain a lot of life in the description. But you can, you know, get off some offensive stuff, and you know, you can just like get a bit more life if you choose to do that. See, there's another life node here. Can I get another one off? No. You just gotta be like checking where you take it off, and you just can shift like to your liking. You can also shift more paragon points here into more life. So now I'm thinking I'm already at 99k life. So you just see wherever the sweet spot it is for you to survive. But I definitely recommend Imposing Presence here, and you can masterwork this more. Ideally, I want a triple crit on Imposing Presence here, because it's 6% life per point, and you can have like, I think, +6 here. And this is just buffing you tremendously here. So your 100k life is kind of where it's at. Like 80 to 100k is what I recommend for this build. But you have so much damage reduction, so you're gonna be just fine. Next one here is Iron Skin versus Challenging Shout versus Imposing Presence. It's pretty much going in the life question. I definitely recommend you go with Imposing Presence on the pants. You don't need Challenging Shout cooldown. You already get it if you attack a lot, and Challenging Shout is just a good uptime. And I'm using crowd control duration. If you taunt an enemy, it's actually buffing the duration of your Challenging Shout. So I have it on my gloves, and I have crowd control duration on my pants and on my boots. So I have like, it's like about 60 crowd control duration. So my Challenging Shout usually lasts for 7.4 seconds, and it's going to be buffed. Okay, I'm going to type it 7.4 times. It's going to be buffed by 60%, so it's going to last for 12 seconds. And you guys can see here, my cooldown is exactly 12 seconds. So I have permanently Challenging Shout as long as I taunt an enemy. And this is kind of what you want to get, like with your cooldown and everything. So 12-second toughness buff, 12-second cooldown, it's perfect, always up. Alternatively, you can also use barrier generation. If you hit that, it's also pretty good because it increases the Iron Skin barrier potency for more toughness and more turrets. That only works when you have full life. So that's pretty cool. And on the amulet, like right now I have Imposing Presence, but I would really want to have Warcry here. I just don't have it. So the Warcry will help you with more berserking. So if you are a fellow spin to win enjoyer and you really want the amulet to be like best in slot, you want to hit Warcry here. It's also going to be easier actually to hit Warcry rather than hitting Imposing Presence. But this was one of the first amulets that I got, so I rolled this one like about 3 weeks ago, and I didn't like can't switch it yet, so because this amulet is just too good to switch. So I don't have the Warcry cooldown, but you can have 17% more Warcry cooldown. I have 9 seconds right now. You can probably get it down to like 7 seconds if you are blasting, and keep in mind it's up for 7 seconds, so you can have perma Warcry if you have one more cooldown roll, I believe. And yeah, that's actually going to be crazy. It's also going to help out in groups. So yeah, get that one more cooldown and you just have perma Warcry. That's actually insane. So it just fits really well. Okay, now drink a second and we talk about offense. Oh boy, we're spinning and we're winning. Alright, importance of berserking damage and how much. So what I recommend is, you want to have 2 berserking duration rolls. I have it on ring, and I have it on my gloves. The rest, I fully have into crit damage. Talk about that in a second. But again, you need to hit this Blood Rage to be a 1.3. So you need to, 2 rolls of berserking is fine. You can also do 1 roll on your 2-hander. But I definitely recommend, and I have pretty low rolls, so it should be pretty easy with my Paragon board, again, that's linked in the description, to reach it. And you can kind of like, you know, play around if you have too much berserking. And you can take off the points down here from Ira. I think I have a bit more because I have a low roll. So At the moment in game, I don't have perfect ones, so I have like 2 extra points here in the ire board because I need it to hit the 300%, the 1.3x. You see, I think if I take them off, check real quick. You see, I only have 2.9 now, so I definitely need these 2 points. And I definitely recommend, if you need these points, to take them into the Warbringer ire board, because this one is giving you 5.3 rather than, you know, just 5, so it's 0.3 more. And it's also giving you 5 main set, which is 5 armor and also more damage with your main set. So definitely rather populate the ire board than populating or putting points into the magic nodes here, because this is only 5 and this is just 0.3 more, 5 more strengths, just better overall. But yeah, apart from that, guys, you definitely should go with crit damage. Can I still use damage to close? I definitely don't recommend it here. You really should make a rogue, and this is super stupid, the barbarian, the master of weapons. In order to put crit damage on its weapons, it needs to go on the rogue and need to make a rogue. So you need to find the plan the rogue. I already made plenty of videos about that. It's stupid, but this is how it is at the moment. So make a rogue and get crit damage. I definitely don't recommend you play close damage. If you still have like some leftovers before you knew this, close damage is okay, but you know, like your main damage is not even close, because like, you know, you're shooting these stuff here and you're shooting twisters. You also have a lot of range, and again, close damage is just additive, while crit damage is also a separate multiplier to the gushing wounds. So definitely recommend you to go with crit damage. And the optimal ratio, I already made plenty of videos about that. I think for this build it's also 10:1. For the flay build it may be a bit different, but you see here 10:1, so I have 5k crit damage and we have 500 vulnerable damage. A 10:1 ratio with high crit chance as well. Because the crit chance, and many people ask me why they're not dealing enough damage, is because you don't have enough crit chance. The crit chance is super important, because with a gushing wounds it's basically a multiplier, and if you only have 50% crit chance, well, you're missing 50% damage, right? Rather than if you would 100% crit chance. So you definitely want to have high crit chance for the gushing wound multiplier, because the chance is equal to your crit chance that the multiplier even works. So you want to have the high multiplier on crit chance. Very, very important. Gems to use in the weapon, so I just use whatever I need to make the ratio work. So the gems in the weapon, you can use the vulnerable damage ones, or you can use the emeralds here for crit damage. So they are just interchangeable, right? Because the ratio is always 20 to 25. And this is also why you want to always temper crit damage, because crit damage has just a better efficiency compared to vulnerable damage in terms of value. But here, for example, this weapon I need to redo. It would be way better to triple crit the crit damage from the imprint, because it has just a higher value, but I just did this once and then I just kept getting crit damage. So you want to definitely crit on the temper crit damage. And you don't need the Dust Devil size again, because 100% is capped anyways, so it's not recommended to crit the Dust Devil size at all. Just go full crit here and get high crit damage basically. So yeah, take whatever gems you need to reach this 10:1 ratio. So if it's emerald or if it's vulnerable sapphire, that's up to you and your individual stats. Arsenal selection on Whirlwind. So we definitely want the grandfather selected. Again, this is for the 1.3 extra bleeds. This is for any speed scenario in a push setup, and I will try this soon. There might also be a reason to play with a mace. It's a 1.15x while you're berserking, which is going to be all the time. Ideally, it also gives you fury. But for the most part, guys, play with the 200 sword expertise, 1.3x for all your bleeds, and that is basically main DPS at the moment. On the amulet, we have counter offensive versus heavy-handed versus cut to the bones. I definitely recommend you go with heavy-handed, crit chance and cooldown. However, instead of cooldown, if you are feeling comfortable with your berserking uptime, you can get +3 to cut to the bone here as well. However, I don't recommend this. It's like a full DPS, very greedy setup. If you have your berserking figured out, I think cooldown, crit chance, and heavy-handed is the best. But again, you want the Warcry cooldown ideally. But overall, the best DPS, if you have to choose, heavy-handed is the winner, because it double dips on your crits. It works with your direct damage, and it also multiplies your bleed damage with gushing wounds. Yeah, size over twister damage. So the twister damage, you can temper crit twister damage on your swords, but I don't recommend this at all, because you just get more additive from the twister, and you need